What is up to all of my little unicorns, new and old? It's your girl WestIndieRay, back again with another information-filled video. Shout out to Toya Clark _87 for reminding me that I still owe you guys a makeup video. Today's video, I will be showing you how to go from this to this in some simple, easy, affordable steps. You don't have to spend $1 million on all high-end products to get this look. You also don't need to stay inside all day and avoid the weather to keep this look. This look stays on rain, sleet, or snow. I've lived in the hottest of climates and the coldest of climates, and this makeup look never fails me. So if you want to know how I get and maintain this year-long glow, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm gonna start by cleansing my face. I use the First Aid Beauty face cleanser. This stuff is amazing. If you guys watched my skincare video that you could find right up here, you will see that this First Aid Beauty brand is a big part of my skincare routine. So I'm gonna start by cleansing my face just to get rid of all of this excess oil that we don't want living under our makeup. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Thayer's toner. This one is the blemish clearing one. It has lemon in it, and it's really good for keeping my skin clear, and I always apply with a bamboo round. It's an alternative to a cotton round that you just use once and throw out. These you can actually put in your washer and reuse them. Next, I like to go in with my moisturizer. I'm using, again, the First Aid Beauty. This is the Ultra Repair Cream. This stuff is amazing, okay? Very hydrating, and you only need a little bit. Next, I'll go in with one of my sunscreens. I'll usually use the Color Science Sunforgettable SPF 50 sunscreen. I really like this. It was recommended by a dermatologist named Dr. V that specializes in melanated skin. But recently, I got the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. They just sent this to me as a gift. I did not get paid to mention this, but I really like this because it's really clear. It's the only clear sunscreen that I've ever tried in my life, and it also goes on a lot like a primer. So this stuff is really good, but I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just gonna show you guys the makeup. So I won't be doing sunscreen today. I'm just gonna go straight into my primers. I have two primers that I've been loving so much lately, and they're both by The Ordinary, which is my other favorite skincare brand. But I love The Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, as well as the High-Spreadability Fluid Primer. Both of these are really great picks in my opinion, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the High Adherence Silicone Primer. My favorite thing about this primer is that I just feel that it keeps my makeup in place all day. So if you're a person whose makeup kind of moves throughout the day, or you have like smile lines or crow's feet or something like that, you're gonna wanna make sure that you not only set your face really good, but that you also use a really good primer. Now I'm gonna provide you guys with two options when it comes to sort of a foundation. One of my all-time favorites is going to be the Bare With Me Skin Veil by NYX. I haven't been able to find this anywhere. This is the color Cinnamon Mahogany. It claims to have 8-hour protection, but honestly, this stuff lasts way longer than that for me. Unfortunately, I have run out of this. I only have like a drop left, so I switched over to the Fenty Beauty. These are the Eaze drops, and this is in the color 12. This one is actually a lot more expensive, so that's why I wanted to give you the other option. But truly, I just feel that because I used to have really bad skin, foundation, like full coverage foundation, kind of had me in a chokehold. But now that my skin is very smooth, I don't need all that coverage anymore. So I tend to go for things like the Eaze drops, or like a tinted skin veil, or a tinted moisturizer, BB cream, stuff like that. So I'm just going to draw a couple lines of the Eaze drops on my face. Mind you, you don't have to use a lot of this because this is not the only thing that you're putting on. And I'm just gonna blend this in with a beauty blender or equivalent. I don't think I've ever bought a beauty blender brand beauty blender. I think my approach to makeup isn't like just caking things on, but it is thin, buildable layers for that flawless finish. So this is what my skin looks like so far. It's kind of a sheer coverage, but that's okay because we're going in with other things. As far as concealers are concerned, I love the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer. This one is an OG of mine, but my all-time favorite, y'all, is gonna be the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I have these in 3 different colors. They don't always have the colors that I need at the store, so I kind of mix and match. My ideal color, if you are around my skin color, is going to be 145 Warm Beige. This is the perfect color for under the eyes, but today I'm using the color 140 Pure Beige. So this is just like a really thick, blendable, luxurious cream. It's not too heavy, but like I said, it is pretty thick. And I'm just putting this on like my T-zone areas as well as underneath my eyes. And then I go in with my other color, which is 160 Warm Tan. And I put this on my cheek. So this is going to conceal this little area right here on my cheek that y'all probably saw popping out just a second ago. And that is going to warm my face up so much, because y'all will see once I blend this out, it's gonna be looking pretty bright up in here. So I just blend that out with the same blender sponge that I used for the foundation, and that just like melts into the under eye like crazy. Like, what? I will never get over this. Like, Milani concealers, you will not regret it. Okay, so after I'm looking all bright in the face, I am going to blend what I put on my cheeks earlier out with the side of my beauty blender sponge. I use this side for the light colors, and I'm using the side of the sponge for the deeper colors so that I don't end up doing something counterproductive. So now that I look crazy and y'all are probably wondering what this line up here is about, I'm going to go ahead and apply my first round of contour. So the first product that I like to use for contouring and just like, you know, the preliminary contouring is this stick by Juvias Place. It's in the color Nambia. I don't know exactly what this is called because the name rubbed off and this was also a gift, but I will link it in the description box below. And I'm just going to draw lines on my cheekbones, like right where the dip of my cheekbones is, as well as the top of my forehead, right under my lip and under my chin to kind of create that like chiseled jawline look. For whatever reason, I prefer to use a dry blender sponge for this part. I just feel like I'm able to have more control over where the contour goes when I use a dry one. So if you have that same experience, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below and just be like, me too, girl. And if you notice, there is no precision involved in the way that I do my makeup. Like, the only part that really requires precision is probably just the eye stuff. Okay, so this is what the face is looking like so far. Still very harsh, okay? But that's okay, because what did I say we were doing? We're doing easy, non-precise, thin layers, buildable layers. Next, I'm going in with my first round of setting, and this is going to be the Translucent Loose Setting Powder in the color Translucent Honey by Laura Mercier. So I'm just taking a brush that I like to use to set my face with. I just use about this much on the brush, and I start going in under my eyes. The main thing I really like about my makeup routine is that you don't really have to be a magician. You don't have to be an expert to do this. It's really easy. There is so much room for mistakes. So if you mess up or something like that, there's always going to be a step coming after that's gonna make it better. Main thing we're trying to pay attention to with this part is just making sure that you get all the places on your face that you know crease heavily. For me, it's around my mouth because I smile all the time, so I'll be having smile lines. So just make sure that you get that, as well as all the places that you want to have a little bit of a highlight. Also, bear in mind that this lighting is a little bit harsh. When I'm done with this, I'll show you guys what the makeup looks like in regular light. Next, I'm going in with my Bare Minerals Bare Pro. This is the powder foundation in the color Toffee. And I'm just going in with a regular foundation brush, and I'm swirling that. And I'm mostly putting this in all the areas where I did the contour, just to blend it out and make it not look so harsh. I bring that down on my neck as well to make sure that we are nice and blended. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm just using to kind of blend out some of that translucent powder that I just put on. But pay attention, because I'm not applying the product directly to the bright parts of my face. I'm just using whatever's left on the brush to blend them out and just some of that translucent powder away. Up next, I'm going to go in with my powder contour with the NYX Matte Bronzer in the color Deep Tan. And the brush that I'm using is slightly fluffy, but not as fluffy as the foundation brush. Here's a comparison of the brushes. This one is the one that I use for the translucent powder. The one in the middle is the one that I use for my contour, and this one right here is my foundation brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead with a little bit of this, not too much, and I am going to go over that same line that I did the contour with in the beginning. So we're just making that line a little bit more crisp. And then we're applying under the chin as well, a little bit under the lip, a little bit on the top of the forehead. Next, I'm going in with this Flawless Concealer brush by e.l.f. And I'm going in with that same bronzer, but this time I'm gonna start on my eyelid. And then I'll bring that down to my nose and do the same on the other side. Y'all, this is the easiest way to have like an eye look with minimal effort. I also like hitting the top of my nose. It just gives me like a sun-kissed look on my face, I feel. This is also a really good color to add some drama right under a waterline as well. So sometimes I just go in with any old little brush and I hit right under my eyes. You'll see how bomb this looks once I put my mascara on. So this is what we're looking like. Next, we're gonna highlight. I'm using this brush by EcoTools, as well as the Anglola highlighter by Crayon Case. The tip with this, you don't wanna use too much. So I like to tap the lid. There's so much product on here and we only wanna pick up a little bit. So typically I go maybe up along the sides and just tap a little bit. This stuff a little goes a long way. I'm gonna start by applying at the tip of my nose. And instead of going up and down, I like to go to the side because it just makes for a less harsh line on the sides of your nose. And then I'm gonna do that up the bridge of my nose as well. Pick up a little bit more product and I'm gonna do it on the tops of my cheeks. I'm also going to hit my chin with this and my Cupid's bow. And this part is another part, yet again, where you can afford to be a little bit messy. Because up next, we're going to use our blush brush. And the Juvias Place the Hair in Blush Volume 1. We're gonna use the colors Toby and Neo up top. So I'm gonna place my brush in here and then just add a little bit of Neo and then go over the tops of my cheekbones. So not the area that I contoured, but the area that I highlighted a little bit. We're just going to do a little stippling effect over the tops of that on both sides. Pick up a little bit more product. And we're also gonna hit the top of the nose with that as well, just a little bit. So this is what our face is looking like so far. It's coming together. Next, I'm going to take that brush that I did my setting powder with, and I'm going to go up and down the side of my nose to kind of blend that out, make it not look so red, and to also blend out all of the highlighter and things that we put on. So that's what it looks like after just a couple swipes. Next, I'm going to get into my brows, eyes, lips, and then we are going to pull the whole look together. You're gonna need two things for your brows. The first thing is going to be a spoolie, and we're just going to brush our brows out, make sure they're all going in the right direction. Now you can use a lot of things for your brows. You can do a brow gel and you can start with this and end with that. You can do a powder, you can do a pomade. But for me, I like to use the NYX Lift and Snatch. These are the eyebrow pens. And I use the color Auburn for the front of my brows and I use Espresso for the tail end. That's just because my hair is light and I'm not trying to look crazy. So I'm gonna start with the Auburn and I'm just going to do flicking motions up. My brows are kind of full as is, so I don't really have to do much here, but you just flick up so that they look like natural brows. One thing that I really love about NYX products is that a lot of them feature this really tiny brush tip rather than a felt tip, and for me, it just makes application so much easier. Next, I'm going in with the brunette color, and I'm just adding this to the tail of my brow. And then we're gonna go right back in with the brush and kind of drag some of that brow pen around, okay? Next, I'm going to do my eyeliner, and this is going to be the NYX Epic Ink Liner. Although I'm kind of digging brown liners lately, this is in the color black. So all I do for this is I just make a line out at the end of my eye, and then I go locate the middle and draw another line, and then connect both lines and fill it in. There you have it. Next, I'm gonna go in with my mascara. This is the On the Rise mascara by NYX. I'll make sure that I have a good amount of product on here, and then I'm just going to apply. I typically do 2 to 3 coats on top and maybe 1 or 2 coats on the bottom. Up next, I'm gonna do y'all's favorite part that you always ask me about, the lip color. So the first part of my lip color, which I do every time that I do my lips, regardless of what color I'm doing my lips, I always use the NYX eyeliner pencil in the color medium brown. I start at my cupid's bow and I just do little lines this way and then bring it out. Next, I go from the center out on my bottom lip. It already looks like a look. Like, doesn't that, I just feel like it's bringing my lips together. So typically and historically, I go in with the NYX matte lip cream in the color Stockholm in Dubai. This one's Stockholm, this one's Dubai. But I've been using something else lately that I've been really loving. So this is the NYX Lingerie Push Up in the color Bedtime Flirt up top here and After Hours on the bottom. Similar color palette. Really what you need is just a brown that is not red and a pink that is more nude. So I go in with this one and I just go right over that line. The reason why I'm really liking this is not because of the plump up thing, because really, I don't really know if it even plumps my lips up that much because I already have some pretty like big lips. But I really like this because of just like how strong the line is when I put it on. Like, look at this. It's just so like, it glides on so easy. Just so good. Also, my lips are very dry, but that's okay because this is just the perfect moment to show you that in the middle of doing your makeup, you can add chapstick if you want and it'll still turn out fine. I just put some EOS on. It's not my favorite, but it's what I just saw just now and I don't really feel like going to get my other stuff. So I just put a little bit of that on to get rid of some of the crusties because this is not really like a moisturizing lipstick. It's more of like a matte type of vibe. So then I go in with the other lighter color to the middle of my lip. This is what it looks like up close. Nice little ombre look. You could either leave it like this, but for me personally, since I have both, I like to go in with these just to kind of perfect it. I find that these move around a little bit more, meaning that they blend a little better. So I just go up on the top with the brown, blend that in, and then hit the bottom with a little bit of this. Notice how I'm using a stippling motion rather than dragging it across my lips. Lastly, I like taking like a piece of paper or something and just popping my lips with it because it reduces the amount that it'll move and that the colors will blend together and just look like a brown lip over time. And it also, to me, just makes it look a little bit more natural and a little bit more ombre. The very last step to this makeup look, which is also gonna help you have the same face for the whole entire day, is to set it with a setting spray. My personal favorite is going to be the NYX Matte Finish, but I've also been known to use rose water. You can buy it online, but I typically use the Heritage Rose Water brand from Ulta. Either works just fine for me. It just depends on what type of finish you want. Even though this is called the NYX Matte Finish, I don't feel like it makes my face look dry or anything like that. So I'm gonna use this one today. I typically like to go a little overboard with the finishing spray and then I use my beauty blender to just soak up all of that excess. Another tip that I actually learned from a Doja Cat makeup tutorial is to put a little bit of your setting powder on your brows if they look a little too intense. It tones them down a lot. And this is the final makeup look. I'm just gonna do my hair real quick and then I'll meet you guys outside so that you can see what this makeup look looks like in natural light. So this is how the makeup turned out in natural lighting. I love this makeup look because it is so quick and easy to do once you know what you're doing, and it will stay on rain, sleet, snow, or sweat. The eyeliner is not smudging, the lips are not coming off whether you eat, drink, or kiss. This makeup is on until I wipe it off. I don't know if it's the setting spray or the setting powder or what, but it has never failed me. I've got this down to a science. So I hope you really enjoyed this long-awaited video. As usual, make sure to leave a little unicorn in the comment section below if you made it to the end of the video. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow all my social media accounts right down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.